What's up guys, Houndish here, and today we arrive at the third weekly reset for Heresy. People seem to be having fun with this episode on the most part, probably more than the last couple of episodes, which is nice. And today we've got the weekly reset for the 18th of February, so we're heading into the final main week of Act 1, essentially right here. We're going to get the last set of steps for the story this season, or this episode, or this act. There's so many different names for the various content and time gates in Destiny. Nonetheless, it should be an interesting one in terms of story this week. Plus there are some extra quests and things for Heresy, so we'll touch on that. Otherwise, we'll round up bonuses and boosts for the week, as well as vendor inventories, all of the Eververse stuff, and then featured activities and rewards for the week, as well as any important updates from Bungie regarding the weekly reset. So if you guys enjoy this one, get subscribed to the channel, as half of the viewers on this channel haven't yet done that. It really does help us out if you fancy hitting that sub button down below. Otherwise though, cheers for tuning in and let's get into it. So initially, as we mentioned, we're in the final week for Act 1 story for Heresy. So now that reset's dropped, we've got new steps for the main story thread this episode. And from what we can tell this week, the quest will be somewhat interesting. There'll be a mission to play, as well as some side quest steps, which will award us some additional Heresy rewards and things like that. So I'm curious to check that out. Otherwise, Sunder Doctrine has refreshed as well, of course, and Bungie have now fixed the drop for Finality's Augur. So it should be dropping as intended, and if that's what you're hunting down from the dungeon, good luck with the drops this week. Of course, there are some good legendary weapons there as well, so let us know if you'll be diving back into Sunder Doctrine during the week. Next up though, of course, Iron Banner returns for the first time in the episode this week. We'll touch on that in just a moment. There will be bonus Valor as well, which is always nice, but we'll take a look at the Eververse store while we're flying in and we'll focus on Bright Dust stuff as always. So on the front page, we have Grasping Thoughts, an exotic emote right here for 3,250 Bright Dust. Obviously pretty fitting with the Eris theme. Also on the front page is Golden Age Booster, an exotic ship which is up for 2,000 Bright Dust from the last episode. Very strange indeed. And then we've got the Eldritch Effects Transmat effect up for grabs this week right here. So we'll preview it again. As always, that's 450 Bright Dust. And we also have the Masonry shader available this week in the store for 300 Bright Dust as always. And additionally on the front page is a Radiant Charoid up for grabs this week. So let us know your thoughts on those. There's our good friend Saladin. We may as well finish with the Eververse store first. We've got Guitar Solo, an exotic emote here for 3,250 Bright Dust from back in the day. Additionally, a Tiny Friend, which is a legendary emote for grabs this week, which is 700 Bright Dust with a nice holographic moth there. And then there is the Tex Mechanica shell for 2,850 Bright Dust this week. Very antique indeed. And the Wanderer's Wings exotic ship is up for grabs as well, which should be 2,000 Bright Dust. Pretty old school. And then we've got the Aoki Fass Mark something in Roman numerals, which I'm terrible at. An exotic sparrow right here, which is up for 2,500 Bright Dust. Then the Solid State ornament for Quicksilver Storm right here in the store this week. That's a new one from last episode too for 1,250 Bright Dust. But we've got the Plagued projection for 1,500 Bright Dust in the store with the Plague Doctor on it. But finally, for the second page of shaders, Verdigris is up, which of course does come up somewhat frequently. We also have Atmospheric Glow from back in the day this week. As always, these are 300 Bright Dust. And then there is Cursed Azure as well, with a little bit of leopard print action going on. And finally, the Sinking Feeling, we all know that one, is available as well. Lastly though, for Transmat effects, there is the Warsat Arrival. These are 450 Bright Dust. Additionally, we have the Harpy entrance. As always, we'll preview it more than once because it cuts them off. And lastly, the Orrery entrance, if that's how you say that. Probably wrong, but nonetheless, pretty cool one from back in Echoes. So let us know if you'll grab anything from the Eververse store this week. For a quick look at Saladin, of course, the Iron Banner is back. We do get the new Trace Rifle. This one actually requires rank 4, so it will be a rank reward right here, and it's got Envious Assassin as well as Detonator Beam, so that's certainly going to be worth playing around with. Let us know any roles you've already got your eyes on. There's also the Peace Bond, which has got Subsistence and Desperate Measures here in the rank rewards, and Tenacious Mastery, which is Loose Change and Bait and Switch, which is pretty cool. And then the Archon's Thunder with Rhyme Stealer and Onslaught, but of course, a handful of other new things added to the Iron Banner this time around, and we can still get the armor that was introduced in the last episode if you need to grab it. So let us know down below if you'll be playing any Iron Banner this reset. For a quick look at Banshee's weapons for the moment though, we've got Nox Perennial, which has got Under Pressure and Controlled Burst, then Nezarec Whisper with Compulsive Reloader and Turnabout, as well as the Threaded Needle with Fail Prep Vorpal Weapon, Shattered Cypher with Tunnel Vision and Rampage, and then there is the Bad Omens, which is Autoloading and Cluster Bomb, and the Path of Least Resistance with Subsistence and Focused Fury. So probably a couple of weapons some folks might want to grab right there, but keep in mind the roles and weapons will change through the week. Lastly though, let's give Shader 1 down here in the annex a quick visit. We'll see what she's got for us this week. For armor, we do have the Prodigal set of armor from back in the Forsaken era, or the reprised versions if you need to add them to collections or check in for stat rolls. Otherwise, for shaders, there is New Age Black Armory up for grabs this week. These are 10,000 Glimmer. We also have the IO shader, Flowers of IO, the Worn variant from back in the day, and lastly, New Monarchy Regalia if you're still collecting faction shaders. Now though, let's round up a few additional bits for the reset. The exotic mission this week should be Node Override Avalon, which of course can drop the Vexcalibur, so if you still never pick that up or need to get any of the upgrades, that's something that can be done this week. Otherwise, according to the rotation, Deepstone Crypt, which can drop the Eyes of Tomorrow, and Root of Nightmares, which will drop the Conditional Finality, are the featured raids, so those are totally farmable when they're featured. Otherwise, Warlord's Ruin is also featured this week, as is the Prophecy Dungeon, and again, there are no loot lockouts when those are up as featured activities, so good luck if you need to hunt down any drops from them. Otherwise, we do have the full Lost Sector rotation now, so today we've got Gilded Precept, of course on Neomuna. Tomorrow, February 19th, it will be the Thrillerdrome. We can get world weapon drops as well as chances at exotic engrams on solo clears from these. 20th of February will be the Broken Deep in the Pale Heart, then we'll get the Blooming Deep for the 21st, before moving over to Europa with Bunker E15 on February 22nd, Perdition on the 23rd, and finally in the Cosmodrome we'll have Vel's Labyrinth for the 24th of February, ahead of the next reset. So good luck as always if you're hunting any drops from those. For now though, that's everything we have to round up, so if you guys have enjoyed the video, a rating below really does help us on the channel. Also be sure to get subscribed and I'll keep you posted with more Destiny content. But otherwise, I very much appreciate you watching today, and whatever you get up to, I hope you guys have an awesome day.
My dreadnought tests you, Guardian Knife.
We need to get Eris out of here! Invite the horror in. Hold it close. Reach into the unknown. And prepare for it to reach back.